Rob Leatham at the 2015 NRA annual meeting in Nashville. I've been shooting for about 30 years and I've met a lot of really neat people. And at one of these shows, they all come out. And this is a chance for you to meet them. So Dave, as I get older and older, and you become more dominant than I am, I've always told everybody as it all happens, there are a lot of really good shooters in the sport. I mean, I date back a long time, but very few of them have ever bothered to learn how to do anything other than their one little thing. You'll have people who are production shooters, or you'll have people that are open shooters, and I've always respected your talent and your ability because you've learned how to shoot everything. And I pretty much consider you the best all-around shooter in the United States when it comes to IPSC shooting. And it's something I always thought of myself, but I mean, it's natural for the progression to go. But I remember the first time we met.
2000
at. So
it was an IDPA Indoor National.
Is that the thing at Smith & Wesson Academy?
Right, yeah. It was in the early days of that match, and that's where I was in that region, and I started shooting at that club, and great group of people, and kind of cut my teeth in practical shooting in IDPA. And it was my first, or I guess it was my second match, actually, at that match.
Really?
Right.
It was that early in your career?
Right. Well, 99 was my first year, and then 2000 was when we met.
Wow.
So.
Well, I don't remember a lot about that match because that wasn't the Light and Laser Spectacular, right? That was much
later on. That was much 2008, later. I think.
Yeah, that was much later. But very.
I can still remember some dates. So.
Yeah, what I remember about that event is that very few people came from the IDPA into the USPSA that were ever competitive is not the word. Were ever championship level.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people cross over, but what a lot of shooters don't really know is there's a really fine line between the winning level shooters and the guys right below it, and it's not as big a level of talent as you might think. The skill levels are closer, but to be able to walk up on the line and really put a performance down, there's this little something special, and Dave's one of those guys that has that.
Yeah, and I think it's more about the shooting test that you're faced with. So I mean, if you're going to get stymied into shooting 5 yards all the time, you're going to be a good 5-yard shooter. And I think some of the other, that's why I branched out. I mean, I started out with one gun, one sport for the most part, and then I was able to spread my wings and open up a little bit and learn what I had to know to be a better shot. That's what helped me. And then I just kind of fell into my own, and I just like USPSA and the Steel Challenge better.
But I mean, you shot it all. I consider the whole thing to shoot IDPA, USPSA, and I consider USPSA and IPSC kind of the same. Steel Challenge and Bianchi, because you won the Bianchi too. It's also been a Bianchi.
I got lucky that year. You have to put up some good scores these days. I mean, there's guys who are almost cleaning it with a production gun, and it's taken a long time for me. So I'm making little strides here and there. I mean, last year for me, cleaning the plates was a big one. Yeah, it's a big step for me on a personal level. Cleaning
it at the match, most shooters will never understand. First off, what's that like? Because a lot of them can't do it and don't do it. But to really walk up on the line in Columbia and clean the plates, I mean, that's not a small thing. That's a huge.
It took a lot of tries, so I didn't do it on my first try for sure.
Yeah, but I've always respected your ability and your skill and your dedication, because a lot of these guys will tell you, if I shot a little bit, I could be great also.
Right.
But the truth is, being there and saying you can be there is a different deal, and I've always loved how well you fought into it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've been a good example for that too. I mean, I appreciate the props here, but we all know who you are, so.
Yeah, I'm the old guy.
Yeah, but for me, I mean, I really enjoy single stack too. That's what I'm going to be focusing on now for the next month.
No, I think you should skip it for about the next 2 months.
I don't know,
pick it up in May. I think late May sometime would be good.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll just go in cold and see what happens.
See what happens.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right,
Dave, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. All right.